Hey everybody, how's it going? Like Butter here, and today I'm going to be bringing you my updated Alpha Bridge tank DPS build. I made a video about a week ago on my build, and I want to show you guys all the updates that I've made thus far and kind of give you guys a rundown of what I'm using currently in the Dark Zone. So I did make a few changes that seem to be pretty huge actually. We completely got rid of the SMGs. We're going with assault rifles now because it seems like the assault rifles are the meta currently because of how strong enemy armor damage is. So we decided to go with a police M4 and a FAMAS. This is the FAMAS I bought like a week ago at the vendor. I ended up rolling the first slot from destructive to vicious, but that's because my police M4 wouldn't roll properly. But let's look at what we have on the police M4. The police M4 is a super strong weapon. I think it's one of the strongest in the game. It's one of my favorite that I used very heavily back in 1.4. So we're using a 5.52 hollow sight, which is 7.5% crit chance, 2.5% stability, 6% headshot damage. This is really strong because the headshot damage and the crit chance work really well together. The little bit of stability is going to take just a tiny bit off of the weapon damage on Uncomplicated, but it's okay. I'm only losing 1% weapon damage. It's not a big deal. It's better to be able to control it a little bit. We are using an Omega rifle suppressor, 18% headshot damage, 3.0% crit hit chance, and 4% crit hit damage. That's really solid here. That's definitely what you want on your barrel. Small grip, we're using 16% critical hit damage, which is helping with that crit chance that's working on your hollow sight. 4.5% reload speed and a little bit of stability as well. You want your stability much more than accuracy. The accuracy doesn't make too much of a difference because you're going to be using this weapon at short distances anyways. The stability is what you're going to want to spec into. On our extended mag, we have 114.5% magazine size, 3% crit chance, and 5.3% rate of fire. So rate of fire, in my opinion, the best you can go on any weapon. So we're sitting at 895 RPM, which is almost the base damage of the FAMAS and the MP7. So, we're sitting pretty... actually, I think the MP7 might be 950, but... on our FAMAS, which is our secondary, I'm running similar stuff, although I don't use the FAMAS too much unless, it hits a point where I feel like it's necessary to just take it out to finish somebody off. 7.5% crit chance, 2.5% stability, 4.5% optimal range. The rifle suppressor has 17.5 headshot damage, 2% accuracy, 4% crit hit damage. This is obviously a little bit better here if you can get crit chance, but I need to get a better suppressor. I don't think I have a better one. Crit chance. Yeah, I believe this is the one that is on, what is this on? Yeah, this is on the police M4, okay. So that's fine. Do we not have one? Yeah, so we don't have one, but when we get one, that should go in well there. Underbarrel, we're using a small grip, 18% crit damage. I think the small grip is really good because that crit damage helps your damage output quite a bit. 104% magazine size, 2.5% crit chance, 5.5% rate of fire. That's a high rate of fire roll, so that's really helping out on the FAMAS. The DPS sometimes glitches when you switch to the FAMAS. It's frustrating. You just shoot and reload and it should go back to normal. Yeah, so 350, 319. Let's go into our Alpha Bridge chest piece. Now we're running the same thing. We're doing 4 alpha. We're doing specialized savage gloves, but it's improved quite a bit since then, but there's 2 things that can be upgraded. The first thing that can be upgraded is my chest piece. My chest piece isn't fantastic. 1229 is an okay roll, but you want up near 1260 if you're min-maxing your stuff. I haven't been keeping an eye on Alpha Bridge harnesses dropping, and I think I might have thrown away some decent ones, so that was a mistake on my end, but I didn't notice how low the stamina was on this piece. The armor roll is okay, 10% exotic damage resilience, and here in the minor attribute, you definitely want ammo capacity if you are running an Alpha Bridge build, because you're using the same ammo pool between both weapons, and you need ammo capacity here and also on your backpack. So for my mask, I'm running Alpha Bridge firearms, 1260, 3.5% crit chance. This could actually be better as well. Instead of disorient resist here, you want enemy armor damage. This 9% enemy armor damage that you can get here, or 9.5%, is so important. I'm missing out not having this, so that's something that I need to get in the future. But then if you're looking at the mod, we're just using all stamina and armor mods, or firearms and armor mods. So this one's stamina, but I think the rest of them I'm using firearms to hit the cap. Yeah, so 261 armor here, 273 armor. You can get up to 270s armor with decent rolls. It's going to help the build out quite a bit. You can see this 236 is a little bit lowish, and this one's 231 as well. So these firearms rolls are pretty low. It would probably help my DPS even more if I got better mods, but for right now, they're doing the job as long as we're high enough on firearms to unlock our talents on our weapons. That's all we're looking for. So on our knee pads here, we got very good rolls. We have 1240 armor, which is one of the higher rolls, 1241 stamina, which obviously could be a little bit higher, but not much, like anywhere in the 1260 range is the best. Some pieces that I have are up in the 1270s. Burn resist, disrupt resist, and the 12.0% enemy armor damage makes it so that it's going to be very hard for me to find a better Alpha Bridge knee pad than these. I'm using an Alpha Bridge holster as well, which has armor, and this is way better than my old holster. It's 1271 firearms, 1232 stamina, and 1257 electronics. Now, if these two were switched, it would help my my toughness quite a bit. I would probably be up near the 466 mark, but for the time being, this is going to hold me over quite a bit. So these are the Savage gloves that are from DZ6 East. If you guys want to check those out, they have really high base armor rolls. We ended up rolling for 1269 stamina, which is like 3 less than max. Assault rifle damage, crit hit damage, and crit hit chance, which is what you want on your gloves. We are also using Specialized Backpack with a pretty good roll, and also we have ammo capacity here, which is what I ended up rolling for, because 1264 was higher than I think I could have gotten if I continuously rolled and just wasted a bunch of money. Firearms mod, 262 armor, and we're running first aid self-heal on almost everything except our knee pads. Our knee pads we are running pulse crit hit chance, 2% pulse crit hit chance, which helps a lot when you're pulsing. That extra 2% is going to help. I also tried running all crit chance mods. You end up getting like 24% crit chance or something like that. It ends up not being crazy. I found it much more helpful to get that 6% heal, like self heal, so that when you're using your heal, you get a lot more. So let's just go through and just show you guys how much my heal works for, because you have the skill power from Specialized as well. So you can see, like, we heal for almost our entire health bar. When you look at your character and you realize that your health is over 200,000, that's pretty good. 217,000 health we're at with this build. So I think that this build is one of the best currently. You know, it's so strong. Alpha Bridge is obviously one of the go-to picks in the current meta with how strong, you know, assault rifles are with their talents. It's been helping me out quite a bit. Let's go through like all our stats. So we got 32% crit chance, 61% crit hit damage, which can seem to be a little bit low, but it actually helps because when you're pulsing, you got to remember this is going up like 17% and this is going up 20%. So that 80% critical hit damage is more than enough. Weapon damage is 19% from Uncomplicated and also from your Alpha Bridge 3-piece. Our health and armor mitigation. Armor mitigation is at 53.17%. I feel like you can sneak up towards like 54, 55-ish if you get really high base rolls on some of your gear. I also think I could get this up towards like 54%, and my max health is 217,000 because you got to remember our stamina rolls are pretty good on most of our gear, so that's what's getting it up near that. Our exotic damage resilience is 10%. You don't need to have really high exotic damage resilience if you're running this much health, because you got to remember most skills, even if they're doing skill builds, are only doing a percentage of health, and you know, if you're removing 10% of that, that's more than enough. You don't need to get more than that. But if you're running like a very more like glass canny build, and you're speccing a lot more into firearms than you are stamina, you might want to get more exotic damage resilience because you're in that danger zone of being one-shotted by, like, you know, seeker mines or something like that. Burn resist 30%, disorient 14%, 32% disrupt. Where's our enemy armor damage? I think it's at an okay amount, but it's definitely not as high as it should be. Is it all the way up here? Where is it? Enemy armor damage. There it is, 50%. So that's pretty high, but you also got to remember we can easily just get 9% on our mask, or even 10%, and we could get up to 60%, which 60% is going to help a lot. So if you can see, this build currently seems to be much more towards tank, but I'm going to show you guys here really quickly that it can just absolutely annihilate anything in its path. So let's start up. Okay, we're gonna go to Lexington, and I just want to show you guys like how much damage this build does regardless of only having 4,700 firearms or 4,800 firearms. I think it's just very like good to only hit the cap on your talents, and then all the firearms after that is just going to boost your base damage. And I think boosting your base damage isn't as important as having more survivability, especially in the dark zone. If you're going on like these massive rogue runs and stuff, you need to be survivable. Okay, so I'm going to pulse and watch them melt. It's honestly unreal. I can run through this. We can just tank bullets.
But don't jeopardize the mission. We're going in on your heels.
75k crits to the head. You just absolute annihilate anything in your path. So you can see that this build is actually insane. There's an Omega rifle suppressor. Let's see if it's better than the one on our FAMAS. Maybe we'll upgrade it right in the middle of this video. 17% optimal range, 2.0% accuracy. Yeah, it's optimal range, so that's not going to help us too much. But anyways, I just want to share this with you guys and let you know that this build is absolutely insane, and I think you guys will really like it. Before I let you go, though, just to go over the talents quickly, obviously we're running Tactical Scanner. You can change this for Scrambler if you're running solo or your team needs somebody using Conceal, and also we're using Overdose. But for player talents, we're using On the Move, which is ridiculous because if you're doing a lot of PvP like I do, if you run up and melee somebody, since you're moving while you melee them, it will proc this. So technically you can get 30% damage resistance for 10 seconds just for killing somebody who's downed. Or even if you are shooting someone who's downed like across the street from you and you're moving as you shoot, which you most likely are in like gunfights because you don't want to be completely stationary, this is going to give you a lot of damage resistance. Critical save is a must use in the dark zone currently because it's such a turnaround when you're getting shot and you're really low health and you pop that med kit. You're gonna reduce your damage that's coming in by 40% for 10 seconds. You also got to remember that your med kit heals you over time, so you're gonna be healing over time as well, and that damage resistance is pretty insane. Like, there's a lot of times where I'm shooting people and they have like no health, they pop med kit, and then all of a sudden they're basically invulnerable for 10 seconds. Also, Combat Medic, if you're running in a group, for sure. Combat Medic heals all your teammates in a group for 40% of the heal. It's really strong, it's really good, but if you're playing solo, you might want to go with something else, like maybe you want to use Tactical Advance, or I've used Tech Support with Healing Station, which was pretty good, but you could just use something else here, even Precision if you don't want to use Pulse, you want to use a different skill. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop the video a like, and I will talk to you guys next time. Take care, everybody!